Hello, this is Robert Guillaume. Thank you for joining me on Your Money, Manage It. I will be discussing principles that will empower you to manage your finances made easy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be discussing a topic very important, not a lengthy topic, but we're going to discuss facing 2023 when you're on a fixed income. I know this does not affect everyone, but there are individuals that most certainly a fixed income is their financial position. So as we enter the new year of 2023, millions of Americans will be facing financial challenges, whether you're on a fixed income or not. It all begins with the extremely high cost of our inflationary rate. That affects all of our goods and our services and other aspects of our daily lives. There are other financial factors that are also influenced, such as the high cost of rent that's gone up, utilities have gone up, gasoline, medical costs, etc. Case in point, when I mentioned utilities, my wife is our church's treasurer, and she just got a statement from the gas company that they have proposed a rate hike for the coming year of 30%. 30% rate hike. So this not only affects an entity such as a church or a business, but us as individuals and homeowners and so forth. These economic factors affect us all, but they hit hardest on those living on fixed incomes. And some of those living on fixed incomes are our elderly, our retired, our disabled, and any other individual whose financial position is pretty well fixed. Well, perhaps I can leave you with a little bit of light on that subject to help you move forward and manage finances when you are on a fixed income. I think first, going back to an old drum that I like to beat, have a budget. Have a personal budget. Have a family budget. And then do not outrun your budget. Live within your means. Do not outrun your financial position. And try to avoid using things like credit cards to pay for goods and services. I saw a television program that was advertising a get-out-of-debt service. And a young lady, and very young lady, looked to be in her late 20s, early 30s, was saying, "Oh, I found my credit card debt was almost impossible, and at the current rate, I'd be paying my credit card off over the next 40 years. I'm sitting back saying, are you for real? Think about that. This young lady had amassed a credit card debt that was going to take her decades to pay off. Avoid using credit cards to amass bills that you can't pay. Live within your means. If you use a credit card and you're on a fixed income, use it as a tool that, again, you pay the balance of the credit card debt when the statement comes. Another little trick that I think is important. Try to stay optimistic. I know that's easier said than done, and I know I'm sitting back here on a podcast broadcasting to individuals that are having a difficult time with their financial management. I know that. I understand that. But instead of falling into a depression and a sadness trap that will just escalate and you become more depressed and more, tied up in all of the dilemmas, try to think positively of things you can do to help you get out of a financial trap. Here's one. Try to cut back all non-essential spending. Just eliminate it. How often do you go to fast food restaurants or go out to eat? Or just eliminate that. Try to just live within your means. Cook a little more at home. Fix some economical lunches. Do those things. Don't just run to a fast. I have some relatives who are self-employed, and I'm not going to mention the name of the fast food establishment, but it's a sandwich establishment, well-known, well-respected. They stopped there to get just 2 small-sized sandwiches. And again, I'm not going to go into description. That could define who this was. They walked out with their lunch to the tune of $26. And they got a sandwich and chips and a drink. $26. Here's another one. Ladies, how often do you go and get your hair done? Now, I know ladies get their hair done. I'm not telling you not to do that. And I know, a lot of elderly ladies enjoy the camaraderie and going into but that's expensive. You get your hair done by a professional, the cost of the service plus a tip and all of those things, it's expensive. And I mentioned eating out. How often do you eat out? What could you cut back? Here's another factor. I don't say this is a bad thing. I think this is a good thing. But does it fit into your financial position? Do you belong to a fitness center? If you belong to a fitness center, what does that cost you every year? What does that cost you every month? Do a little research. Some are much, much less than others. If you want to work out in a fitness center, that's a good thing, but find where you can do it that fits into your budget. Here's a question. Do you really need cable? Do you really need that satellite? Do you need the most expensive cell phone that's on the market? No, when I was a CEO of an educational corporation, I was amazed. I was amazed at families and the corporate business manager. We would just shake our heads. Families who would tell the school that they weren't able to meet $175 or $200 a year expenses for the miscellaneous school fees. Now, that's not to say that a lot of the fees were covered because of their financial position, but there were still some fees, maybe for art supplies, for music, for whatever it might be, and not to any great extent, $175, $250 for the year, something like that. And they would come in and they were not able to pay that expense. They and their child or children had the best $800 cell phones that you can buy. We need to get real sometimes, folks. We need to find out what is really a priority. If you can't afford cable, you can't afford cable. If you can't afford a satellite, can't afford a satellite dish. Or you can't afford the most expensive cell phone. If you have to use a flip phone, well, you just have to do what you have to do. The other question is some people still hold on to a landline. Those are extremely expensive, and if you have cell service, do you need a landline service? You need to consider that. Another trick on a fixed income, shop economically. When you walk into a grocery store, shop store brands. Many, many times, they're not a horrible product at all, and yet you're going to save a percentage of the cost if you buy a store brand. Buy, when you're shopping, sale items. One sale item, for example, I'm just going to be honest with the audience. I do most of the grocery shopping in our family, my wife and I, because I do about 80% of the cooking. I enjoy cooking, so for dinner, I do most of the cooking. And I'll just flat out say I'm a pretty good cook. But anyway, when I go into where it might be Kroger or wherever I'm shopping, I look at sale items such as meat when it's on sale. When there's a good sale on a roast or whatever, I buy it or I buy two and I freeze it. And it will keep. Believe me, if you put it in good freezer wrapping, good freezer bags and so forth, it'll keep. It'll keep for an extended period of time. Buy things that are on sale. Use coupons. Most stores will take coupons. Find coupons. Use coupons. So, again, buy store brands. Look for sale items. Use coupons. And when you can buy items that can be stored or frozen, something like that, buy those. If you see canned goods that have a real good sale, buy several of it, put it on your pantry. Just makes sense. Run utilities as little as possible. Little tricks add up. I don't know how many of you leave the water running while you scrub your teeth. Sounds stupid, doesn't it? But if you were to take over a year's time how much water on your water bill you're using just letting the water run while you scrub your teeth, a lot. So little things when you're using water, when you're, set your thermostat back just 1 degree. Now, if you already have it down to the almost discomfort level in the winter, then I'm not advising to go discomfort, but I'm just saying, if you're comfortable at 71 degrees in your home, drop it back to 70 or even 69. Put on a little extra, just wear a sweatshirt around the house or something. That will be an enormous savings, especially after the fact I just mentioned. One particular large gas company is proposing a 30% rate hike. So let's get wise. Let's cut back where we can cut back. And if you're on a fixed income, that might make somewhat of a difference for you in the course of a year. A pet peeve, is try to stay healthy. Life gives us no guarantees. We can do everything right and something can still go wrong. Now, that's just life. But do your best. And let me give you an example. Walking is cheap. Walking costs nothing. It costs some time, but if you can plan that time in, even if you get home from work and you can just go out and walk 15 minutes around your neighborhood, down the street, somewhere else, that's huge. It's huge for your health. Do simple exercises at home. There are a lot of exercises that individuals can do at home. You don't need an expensive gym. It helps your cardio. Stretching exercises, wow. We hear so often how many people need this shoulder surgery and this hip surgery and this and that. The next thing, stretch, exercise, do simple exercises with simple weights at home. You can do so much without having to go to a gym, but try to stay healthy. Another factor, if you're a smoker, and I know smoking can be very addictive. There was a time in my life when I was young that I smoked a little, and it can be kind of tough to quit. I was kind of fortunate when it came time that I realized I had a family and I didn't need to be smoking. This sounds horrible. Shouldn't have done this, but it worked for me. I was just driving home from work and something told me, time to quit. I reached in my shirt pocket, took a cigarette pack out and threw it out the car window, and I never looked back. I just never looked back. It was the end of it. I shouldn't have thrown it out the car window, but I did. Sorry for that, but it worked. But let's take a look at something. If you're a smoker, try to quit. Here's why. At $8 a pack, and I think I'm a little low. I think a pack is about $9 now, but I'll use the $8 figure. At $8 a pack, just do the math. A pack a day is $2,920 a year. A half a pack of cigarettes a day is $1,460 a day. That's money out of your pocket for a habit that's killing you. So quit. If possible, do everything, quit. And then here's a little trick too. Clean up, straighten up. On the positive side, tackle a little project at home. Rearrange furniture. Do you realize that how much just rearranging a few pieces of furniture can, the difference in positivity in your home? Just try it. Just move some furniture around. Say, oh, I'm going to redo this. My wife and I have a project coming up this winter. We've got a family room. It's where we have a big weight machine workout thing. It's where we watch some TV, and it's just a nice family room part of the house. I'm not thrilled about it, but neither is she, but it just needs to be done. We're just going to repaint the room. That's work. That's going to take some effort, but when it's all done, we're going to sit back and have thumbs up, and while we're doing it, it's just a nice project. Clean out a garage. Oh, I have seen, as you have, people raise their garage doors. You wonder, how do they find anything in that garage? It's just loaded, packed to the gills. Clean out a garage. Clean out a closet. Clean out your basement. And guess what? Many times you can sell some of those unwanted objects. That's a good trick. And there are a lot of sites that you can sell objects now, over social media. Here's another trick, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on a fixed income. I will say this from personal experience, it works. Save your change. When you shop at a grocery store, wherever you're at, when you're shopping and you come home and you have change in your pocket, put it in a container. You will be surprised. I do it all the time. And then I just start fresh with dollar bills in my wallet or whatever I'm going to use. But when I'm using cash and I have change, I save it. I don't take it back out and spend it again. I save it. Case in point, every 6 months, just saving change, I dump around $70 in my savings account. I just take it, put it in my savings account. Just $70 every 6 months just from saving change. So, little things that you can do on a fixed income that might help you make ends meet. And again, I'm an advocate for budget. I advocate that over and over, the importance of having a budget and accurately track your spending habits. Modify them if you need to. I hope these little tips have been somewhat helpful in your planning for 2023 if you're facing the scenario of living on a fixed income. I hope this has helped. Have a great day. This is Robert Guillaume saying thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me on Your Money, Manage It. My book, How to Manage Personal Finances Made Easy and Avoiding the College Debt Trap, can be found on Amazon and the bookshop. I will also include the link in the description of this episode. Find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and join me again next Monday. Thank you for listening.